depending on the project you've been assigned, right? So everything about ClickUp is basically organization. So a way for you to organize um your team, to structure it. Okay. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'll take the first phase of questions. So are there any questions? Anything? I can see somebody's hand is up. Okay, Mr. Ridwan, I just started. I've not really done anything. I've not really started the class. So I only said that today's session is going to be, it's kind of like the wrap of introduction of new tools. So moving forward after today, would revisit or recap on the tools that we've used before, right? Then I also said that I'm sure some of us are having issues with uploading to the drive. So there was a bit of an issue with the account, right? So a new drive link will be sent, right? So that's basically what I said. So we can start. So today's tool is going to be mostly for project management. So if you're like a team lead or a project manager for a project or a team, you want to better keep track of your team. So ClickUp is one tool you can use. And right from my observation or the question I asked, I can see that some of us have used ClickUp before or are familiar with ClickUp, right? So it makes today's job a lot easy. Okay, so it's basically to organize your task, to organize your team and your project, right? So um basically what ClickUp has is like a structure. It's almost like Notion, the way Notion is. But in this case, it's kind of is like a hierarchy. You have your workspace, your entire workspace. So inside of your workspace, you have something called a space, right? So a workspace can have different spaces. So you can have an organization that handles software tools. So the organization name might be software geeks, right? That is the workspace. Now inside the organization, they develop mobile apps, web apps, progressive web apps, and maybe dedicated apps, maybe, right? So those individual projects called, you have web app, mobile app, and all that, they can be referred to as spaces. So you have a space for mobile app development or the mobile app development team. So that's a space. Now, inside of that space, in mobile app development, you have things like the front end guys, the back end guys, the guys handling APIs, the guys handling design, the guys handling testing, quality assurance, deployment. All of those things become a folder. So inside of that folder, you can say, okay, this folder is UI development. Now, inside of that UI development, you can now assign individual tasks, things like wireframing, design, the front end coding. Those are now individual tasks. Now, inside a task, you can now assign a sub task, maybe inside the front end coding task. You can say, okay, this one is, we'll divide it into login, sign up, homepage, um, about page, as the case may be. So that's basically the way ClickUp works. So in ClickUp, you're looking at your entire project or your entire team as a project itself. So you're looking at your entire team or your project and you're breaking it down. You're uh, putting them in layers so that you can better monitor progress, right? So that's basically that's the core structure of ClickUp. Now, in ClickUp, it has like three sections. You have the sidebar, two sections rather, the sidebar, which is the navigation section, and the main work environment, right? So the sidebar in ClickUp has things like, that's where you create your workspace. It has spaces, it has your folders, your lists. Now, the interesting thing about ClickUp is that you can create documents in ClickUp. You can actually create documents, you can create sheets, you can create dashboards in ClickUp. That's what makes it very, very interesting. All right. Then you also have the top bar called the control center. So in the top bar, you have things like search, notifications, where you can create tasks and all of that, and your settings, where you can edit and manage your file. Right. Then we're actually going to look at the ClickUp environment. I'm just trying to go through the slide. Then you have the main workspace area. So it's there when you open the ClickUp interface. You're going to see the sidebar and then the main workspace area. So you have your primary display and your interaction patterns, right? So your primary display, you should create a task where you manipulate and play around with those tasks or lists is now in your main workspace area in your primary display, right? So, but you can create a task, but then you want to manipulate that task, right? So you can play around with the task like by dragging, by resizing, by adding dashboards, by adding views, by adding filters to it. All of those you do that in the main workspace area. We're going to see that shortly. Then we have the task view. So you're going to see things like primary fields where you have a task name. So if you create a task and then you open that task, you're going to see some other things you can do. So what it means is that in ClickUp, you can decide. So as a project manager, you can decide, for example, you're building a product, a mobile app, for example, and you have a team of 4 people maybe in your team. So you have tasks like front end, back end, and maybe testing and all of that. So you can say front end, you assign it to a team member. Now, provided that team member is part of your team, the team member will see that, oh, I have been assigned this job. So you can interact with that team member for that particular task, right? So we're going to see all of this in play. Okay. Then in ClickUp, there's something called views. So you can view your space or your workspace or your entire project as a list, or you can view it as a board, or you can view it in the form of calendar or in the form of a Gantt chart. Right. So, but the most popular one is the list view. It's usually easy if you're using the list view. The board view is mostly when you want to present, maybe you're asked to present what you've been doing. You can use the board view to properly organize your team, your task, and everything. Then we have the calendar view. The calendar view mostly you're looking at if there are deadlines, you're looking at okay, this particular day we have this particular day, we have this particular day, we have that, none of that. Then we have the Gantt view. So it's kind of like the Gantt view is like if you're familiar with Gantt chart, so you have a set of bars that show you timeline. So if you're supposed to finish a project in 2 days, you have a bar specified for that 2 days. By the time you exhaust that 2 days, you switch to the next bar. If it's for another 2 days, so it shows scheduled planning. That's basically what the Gantt chart is. And in ClickUp, all of these functionalities are all there. The other interesting thing in ClickUp is status and workflow. So you can track your progress. You can create a particular task and add status like to do in progress, review are done, right? So it means that you can set your timeline. You can say, okay, for a particular project, we're going to create lists, and that list is to do in progress review. So if a project has been set in motion and you're planning for a particular project, you can set it as to do. The moment that project has started, then it goes to in progress. Now, once the project is done, you can now send it to review. If there are corrections, it's in the review phase that the corrections will be made. If there are corrections, if there's something wrong with it, it goes back to in progress, and then it's going to be worked on. But if the after the review phase, if there are corrections and everything is in order, it goes to done. So you can mark that project as done. So you're done with that particular project. So that's that particular task. So that's basically what the ClickUp. So just a bit of an overview what we've looked at. In ClickUp, you have the sidebar that handles your navigation. So if you're familiar with a lot of web apps, you see that in Teams there's a sidebar navigation bar. In Notion, we have that. In plenty of all the tools, we have all of that. In Zapier, we have the sidebar, which is always the navigation. Then we have the top bar that handles control, mostly search, notifications, settings, profile, all of that is done on the top bar. Then you have your main workspace area. So your main workspace area is like your canvas where all of your drag and drop is done, where all of your visuals is. Then inside of that main workspace area, you can do things. Then you have things like task where you have, okay, I have to do a particular thing. So you're going to be setting this like, oh, a particular activity. Who is supposed to do this? When is the person supposed to do it? And what is the person supposed to do? And then you have views. So these are the 5 things we're going to be looking at today. There's so much you can do with clickable. For the sake of timing and schedule, we're going to look at see how we play around these 5 functions that exist in ClickUp. So that's basically what we have here in our slide. So we're going to dive to the main app itself. Okay, some people say they can't see my screen, but I'm sure my screen is visible because I can see that I'm presenting. If you can't see my screen, it's probably network from your end, right? So you can probably fix your network or try to rejoin the meeting. It's probably going to fix that. Thank you and apologies for if it's inconvenience you in any way, and the class is recorded. And also the last class was you didn't get the recording because of the same issue with the drive, right? So that's also they were working on doing that, retrieving that and getting you the recordings. Okay. So I'm going to start with the demonstration right up. Okay, let me share my entire screen. Okay, so when you um okay. All right. So for the ClickUp, like as usual, I always prefer you searching for it on Google so you see what you're looking for. So this is what we're looking for, clickup.com, right? This is what we're looking for, clickup.com, right? So I'm going to click on it. Okay. All right. So when you when you open it for the first time, your second. Okay. So when you open it for the first time, you see this window, their homepage. That's what we're looking for. That's actually what we're looking for. Okay. So the next thing is for us to sign up. Well, I already have an account. So if you don't have an account, you click on sign up. Right. But I'll quickly do this. So if I click on sign up, so if it's your first time using ClickUp, you click on sign up and then click on sign up for free by putting your email address, right? But I already have an account. So if you already have an account, you click on sign in. Right. So I'm going to try something. So I'll use this email that already exists, and then I'm going to sign up for free. Yeah, so it just randomly takes me to my workspace, right? Okay. So you can, another interesting thing is it's detecting that this email is already taken. So this email already exists in their database. So I'm going to just quickly sign in. Right. So the process of signing up and signing in is pretty easy. Just follow the prompts as it is and sign and just click on signing and it works. So when you successfully sign in, you are going to be faced or you're going to be presented with this kind of environment, something that looks like this, right? Something that looks like this, all of this. So, like I said, we're going to start with the interface, the way ClickUp works. So it has a lot of things here, but we're not going to be looking at everything. We're going to look at just the important things that we want. So I said that it has the sidebar here, the sidebar. We have the home, spaces, charts, planners, and more tools, right? So in the more tools, you can play around with docs, your teams. You can add add-ons if you want, right? You can even invite people. So I asked some people to send in their email. So I would invite them. We can collaborate and see how it works. But whilst I'm waiting for that, we can continue. So, like I said, ClickUp works in hierarchy. So you have um, the workspace, which is the entire environment, as you can see here. The workspace, you have spaces inside of the workspace. You have spaces, and then you have folders. Okay, if I have 5 emails, I'm good. So we can, all right. It's we can stop sending in emails now. I think I've gotten the number I want. All right. So like I said, you have spaces, you have folders, and then you have lists, and then you have tasks. That's just how it works. It's hierarchical. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a workspace. But before that, let's create a scenario. Like I said, we're going to be demonstrating. And our scenario is this. Just listen carefully. Our scenario is that we are a what should I use? What should I use? What should I use? Okay, we are a software company. Good. We are a software company. That's basically what we are. And we want to develop a mobile app, right? A mobile app. So that's basically what we are. So in this case, I am the project manager, and I'm of the assumption that you guys are my team members, right? So I'm going to manage this team and manage the entire project. So what it means is that, like I said, it's hierarchical. So what it means is that we have a workspace called the software company, right? Inside of that workspace called the software company, we're going to have a space called the mobile app, right? We're going to have this the space called the mobile app, right? Or the mobile app team. And then inside of that space called the mobile app team, we're going to create folders called the development team. Please, what's is there an issue? What is the problem? I can see somebody's giving thumbs down. Sylvanus Matthew, is there an issue? Or mute your mic and ask your question.
So why creating the account? It work, personal, school. Which one should we click on?
So it's not really strict on what you just click on anything, whether school, whether personal, whether work, you're still going to come to this kind of environment. So just choose anything that suits you. So like I said, just follow the prompt, anything there, just select. They're not really strict on the things you choose, don't determine what you get after signing up. The most important thing is just that you sign up, right? So just follow the prompt as it is there and sign up. I already have an account, that's why I didn't need to sign up again. I have 2 emails, the other one I've exhausted it, I've used it to create an account too. So yeah. But it's a pretty simple process. Okay, Mr. Arudon, your hand is up. Please ask your question.
So he's asking invite people to your workspace.
You can skip that. You can always invite even after creating your workspace. You can skip that. All right. So I'll continue. So like I said, we have a mobile app team, a software company building a mobile app. So the name of the workspace will be the software company. We're looking at the hierarchy. So we have workspace, space, folder, lists, and tasks. So the name of the workspace will be the software company. The name of the space inside of that workspace would be the mobile app team, right? Then the name of the folder inside of the mobile app team would be the development team, because we are the developers, right? Development team. Now, in the development team, we're now going to have lists. Now, those lists are going to be things like our product backlog, normal backlog, or we call it sprint backlog, in progress, review, and done. Right, so that's basically what this is. Or we can call it our product backlog, to do, in progress, review, and done. And then we're going to have tasks. So inside of the product backlog list, we're going to create tasks like user registration, login system, and dashboard UI, and so everything that involves a mobile app, we're going to do that. Then from there, we'll start working and see how we can go. So that's the scenario that we've created here, right? So I'm going to continue. Right. So I said we are a software company, right? So we're going to start by creating a workspace. And for you to create a workspace, you go to the sidebar. In the sidebar, you see this green icon here. Here, there's an arrow facing down. This is where you create your workspace, right? So I can click on create workspace. I'll click on create workspace. And I click on create workspace, it should take a few seconds. Hold on. Click on create workspace. In a few seconds, we should have that fired up. Okay. Okay, all right. So we're now creating a workspace. So they will ask us, what will you use this workspace for? So all of these are just very unnecessary. So let's choose work. Why do you need it? You can choose anything. Let's just say so since we're a software company, let's say for software development, so I can decide to invite people here. So I'm going to do that right up. So I'm going to paste all of the emails, not all. I'll just paste like 4 emails of people that maybe the first 4 people that sent their emails. So I'll paste those. I'm going to paste um, this. I'm going to paste. Okay, I'll make it 5 people so that I can assign each person a role. So we might not be able to do everything from beginning to end, but at least I would achieve something today. Okay, let's see. And let me just add one last person. Okay, so if I didn't copy your email, I beg no vex. I'm trying to hurry up. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, right? That they are going to be part of our team, and I'm going to go ahead and click on invite. Do you need that to? Nah, this is not necessary. I'll just go ahead next, and then what feature are you interested in? For now, I don't need any of the features. So what will I call this workspace? Like I said, we're a software company, so I'll call it software company, right? So that's what we are. So I'm going to finish. So it's going to use about a few seconds or a few minutes to create our workspace. So let's just give it some time to spin up. Okay, so our workspace is open. So if you can see that what we have is our space, our workspace is now called software company. So like I said, it's in hierarchy. After creating your workspace, the next thing is for you to create your space, right? Now, how can you create a space? You create a space inside of a workspace. So in creating a space on the sidebar, like I said, we're creating a space called mobile app team, right? So this space now, I'm going to call this. If I click on this drop down, I'll go to create space. I'll click on this. So what's going to be the name of this space? So I'm going to call it mobile app team or mobile app product team, right? So that's what we're going to call this space. What's the description? We just develop the mobile app, right? So that's basically what the description of this space is all about. So I'm going to click on continue. It would want to give us like an already existing template for our workflow, but no, we're going to use the basic, the starter pack that exists, so it will be easier for us. So we're going to click create space. All right. So our space, we've created our space. So I don't know if we can see this. You can see that we have the people that I sent invitations, which I am sure have accepted. They are all here as my team members here. I can see Martin Samuel, I can see Victor Wanko, I can see Sandra Chine, I can see Dosmin Josiah, and so on. So I have 4 people here. I'm still waiting for the next 2. So I have 2 more people. So if you submitted your email, or if I copied your email, check your your email box, your inbox. You should be expecting an email from ClickUp, an invitation mail. Accept the invite. If you have an account, log in. if you don't have an account, sign up and then you'd be part of the workspace. So if I included your email, it means you can access this space with me. So anything I do, you're going to see the change right here. Okay, and thank you for your understanding. So let's continue. And apologies for the background noise, it's raining heavy here. Okay. All right. So now after creating our space, the next thing is for us to create our list. So remember I said that we're a software company and we're developing a mobile app. So we've created our space called, our space is just what the mobile app product team. Now the next thing is for us to create our list. Now in our list, we're going to create things like our product backlog, our sprint backlog, our in progress, review, and done. So what this list means is that if I assign somebody a task and the person is doing the task, so that particular task would be in the list called in progress. If I've assigned somebody a task and the person has not even started the task, that task would be in the list called sprint backlog. If I assign somebody a task and the person has done the task finished and I've not reviewed it and given my feedback, that task would be in review. If I assign somebody a task and the person has finished the task and I've reviewed it and everything is in order, then that task will be in done. So that's basically what the list is. So the list is kind of like a category that helps you to know which task has been done or where you are at the moment, right? So we're going to create that list. Now, in order to create your list, we'll see, we can either do that in our main workspace area here, but I prefer we do it on this in the sidebar. So here we have our space called mobile app products, mobile app product team. So I'm going to click on this plus icon here, and the plus icon, you're going to see create. Sorry, we're supposed to create a folder. Sorry, I missed that part. So we'll create a folder first. So the folder, we're going to call it what do we call the folder? Development team. Okay, interesting. Yeah, let's do that. So let's call it development team. Right. So the description is we are developers. So that's, let's just call it out. All right. So we're going to create this. Okay. So the folder has been created. Now our list will now be inside the folder, right? So we're going to create our list. So in this folder part here, we're going to click on this plus icon, and in the plus icon, we're going to click on lists. All right. So like I said, we have a list, and the list is product backlog, sprint backlog, in progress, review, and done. That's what we're creating. So we're going to create our product backlog, right? And I hope we can still hear me because of the background noise. All right, thank you very much. So it's like I said, it's raining heavily here, so apologies for the background noise. Okay, so we're going to go ahead with, we're going to create our product backlog. Please just follow me, just follow me as I'm demonstrating so that we don't miss any step, right? So you don't get confused. Okay. So the product backlog, I'm going to create that list. So you can see that it has been created here. We don't need all of this AI assistance now. So you have product backlog created. We are now going to create another list called sprint backlog. We can call that sprint backlog, we can call it to do or starting, whatever it is you want to go by. I prefer sprint backlog, is a lot more professional. Let's call it sprint backlog. All right, so Remember, they are all under the folder development team. So we're going to create all of this is not necessary. So we're going to create another folder called in progress, another list rather called in progress. All right, so I'm going to create it. We're going to create another list called the review list. The review list. I'm going to create it. Then we're going to create the last list called done. So this list, I'm going to call it done. So any project, any task that we've completed would be here, would be stored here. And I'm going to create
Showing again, oh.
What? You can't see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I think
it's
it's
not
still
I don't see your screen.
It's just for him to sign out and sign.
maybe it's from your end, please. All right. Okay, thank you for that. All right, so we have all our lists created here. So now what it means is we need tasks. As a mobile app development team, we have tasks, and those tasks are things like front-end coding, a dashboard, login page design, whatever it is that is involved in app development. So we're going to do that. And all of that, we're going to put it in our product backlog, because our product backlog is kind of like the part of our entire project that shows every task. So if a task is done or something has been done, we move it to the next list. So in our product backlog, we're going to click on this plus sign. So this is where we'll create all our tasks first. So we're going to click on create task. Here now, this plus icon, click on task. And like I said, we're going to call the task. Let's start with sign up, user sign up. So that's somebody's job. So what I'm going to do now, okay, no, I'll first of all create all the tasks before I begin to do the other things. So I'll call this user sign up. Okay. Let's just go ahead and create that one first. Still on the product backlog, we're going to create another task called which other thing? Login page. Yeah. So we have something called the login page. And then let me close this. We have the next task. Let's call this the dashboard. The dashboard page. So I'm sure you've played around with mobile apps, so you know what a mobile app, what's involved in mobile apps. I'll call it dashboard. All right. So let's create the last task. Let's call it what should we call it? The home page. Okay. Yeah, let's call it the landing page. Landing page. I mean, it's not even a mobile app, but who cares? So that's all what we are doing. So if you notice, we can see that in our product backlog list, we have something, see they've written something like 4 here. So it means that we have 4 tasks. So if I open the product backlog by clicking on this product backlog, you're going to see that we have 4 tasks already here. We have the user sign up, we have the login page, we have the dashboard, we have the landing page. So as the project manager, I'm the one creating all of these tasks so that I'll start assigning it to the team members, right? So the next thing I want to do now is for me to explain for me to add a description of what each task is supposed to do, right? So I'm going to start with the user sign up task. If I click on it, the task bar opens. So I'm going to first of all add a description. to this. You can use AI to describe it or whatever. You can just whatever it is you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is to monitor the team, to monitor the developers for registration page. Basically, that's what I'm doing, right? And then I'm going to close this. So I've added the description. I'll do the same thing for the login page. I can decide, you can decide to use AI to help you. So I just do, I'll just go ahead and type the forward slash and, or I'll just use, let's see, so I'll just tell AI to summarize the task for me. So those are the two ways. You can either write it yourself, you have the time, or if you have the content. But if you don't, you can always use the AI agent in the tool there, to help you summarize it. So that's what we're waiting for. It's creating the description for the login page.
Hello, sir. Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I tried adding the like dashboard to the product clinical, and I don't see where to like after adding the tax dashboard, I don't see where to like save it or yes, I think so.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back. You said when, let me cancel this. Have you created your list?
Yes, I'm done creating the list. So I wanted to add a tax to the
Okay.
product backlog. So
So yeah.
after adding the user sign up, I do not see where to like press
Okay.
create or
I get what you're saying. So when you create a new task, right? You don't need to click on create. You just close. If you close, it automatically creates.
oh okay, thank you.
Right. So the moment, in fact, let me tell you what happens here. The moment you click on this plus icon, and you click on task, it has already created the task.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So this task that I created that I did not specify any name, see that it has already created it. Whether or not I click OK. So the best I can do is to delete this task. All right. So that's it. So you can add description to each of the tasks by clicking on that task. The task page will pop up. You can do whatever it is you want to do with that task. So that is the next thing. Then another thing you can do is to assign the task. So this is where it gets interesting. So I have 4 people, or we are a team of 5. I and 4 other people. So I'm going to assign each person a task. So let's start with the user sign up. When I click on the task user sign up, there's something called assignees. See it here, assignees. This is what we're looking for. Or you can decide to click, see it here. You can also find it here, assignees. Here, assignees. So, but I want to assign somebody with the task of creating the user sign up. So the person, the developer involved, I will choose that. So if I click on assignees, I'm going to choose part of my team members. So I have we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people in the mobile app development team, right? This is crazy. 7 people in the mobile app development team, right? So I'm going to give it 2 people to one task. So I and Sandra will be handling the user sign up task, right? That's it. Then the login page, I'm going to assign Martins and Josiah. In the dashboard task, I'm going to assign Priscilla and read and read on, right? In the landing page, I'm going to assign Victor and myself again. So that's what we've been able to do. So as the product manager or the project manager of this entire project, I've now assigned each individual team member their role. So in your dashboard, if you already have created an account, you're going to see that in the product backlog list, you see that your name or your email address has been added or you've been assigned a particular role. So that's basically what we're doing here, right? So that's the next step we've taken. So the next thing that we're going to now do is for us to add. So if there's a particular task, but we can now add, okay, this task we want to complete it by tomorrow, we want to complete it by next tomorrow, or we want to complete it by next month. So the next thing is for us to add a due date to our task, for us to measure our timeline. And then we're going to add a priority level, right? So we'll now choose whether or not the task is very important or how much priority we're putting to the task. So that's the next thing we're doing. So the next thing is to add a due date. So for the user sign up, so let's use a real life scenario. In a real world project, the landing page comes first. So I'm going to click on due date for the landing page here, due date, or I can open the landing page task and click on, I'll look for due date. In the due date, I'm going to click on the start date. So let's say we are starting that project today, right? So the start date is today. And the due date, so we have between now and maybe we are given a timeline of 2 days to build the landing page. So on the 30th of April, that should be the deadline for the landing page. So I'm going to click on 30th as our due date. By the time you're done, you can always close this. So you close it, you can see that the due date is on Thursday. So by Thursday, the team responsible for building the landing page should have finished their job. Now we can go ahead with the next one. So after building the landing page, the next thing is for us to build the user sign up page and the login page. So the user sign up page, we are going to assign them a task, a timeline. So in the start date, they will start building it today because everybody's going to be working concurrently. So they'll start today, and we're going to give them 4 days, right? So on the 2nd of May, they should have finished it, right? So that's on Saturday. That's when they should have completed their task. Anything beyond that means that they are late, right? So the next one is the people building the login page. So the login page should have the same timeline as the sign up page. So they are going to start today and end on Saturday. So as the project manager, you're the one assigning this task. So the team members will have to work according to your timeline. Then the people building the dashboard, they are going to build it after we are done with the landing page and the login page and the sign up page. So they should start on the 2nd of the, they should start on Saturday, right? And sorry, They should start on Saturday. They should start on Saturday and end on the 5th of May, right? So we've assigned deadline for each of these tasks. So each team, for the entire team that is under the mobile app development team, we've now subdivided each person into a team of 2. So 2 people will handle a particular task. That's what we've been able to do, right? Now the next thing is for us to add priority level. What is important and what's more important? So you can either add priority level by clicking on a particular task and adding priority to that task. You're going to see something called priority. So here we're in the user sign-up page, and the user sign-up page is very important. So we're going to set the priority to be urgent, because we need them to complete with urgent. So the login page, we're going to set it as urgent. The landing page, we're going to make it high, and the dashboard, we're going to make it normal. So we set priorities to this individual task. So that's what we've been able to do. So we've created our workspace, we've created our space. In this case, our workspace is the name of our organization, our space is the name of our department, then the folder is the name of the particular team involved. Then the is there a question? Okay, Uche, ask your question, please.
Sir, good everyone. Sir, based on this thing, you send me a invite. I've done the invite, so it's showing offline on my system here. I'm seeing that I'm offline, which I'm offline. It's showing offline on my own dashboard. I'm among the people you send the invite.
Did I send you an invite?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So I'm seeing like offline there, and I'm seeing everybody, like the rest of everyone here on my own side, like the sidebar. But I'm offline. I'm just showing you offline.
All right. 1 second. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, sir.
When I begin to tell you what to do, then.
Okay, sir.
All right. So let's continue. So we've been able to create our list. Now we've subdivided our team into individual tasks. All right. So then we've assigned team members different tasks that they can do. Right. So the next thing is for us to visualize our our entire system, our entire workspace. That's what is very important. So now that we've created our product backlog, the next thing is for us to move it to our sprint backlog, because all of these projects, okay, no. The projects that are starting today are the ones who are going to move to our sprint backlog. So what we can do here is, the user sign up is starting today. You can hold it and drop it here in the sprint backlog. The login page is starting today. You drag it and put it in the sprint backlog. The landing page is starting today. You drag it and put it there. Another way to switch is to Another way to switch is to either click on the list and then move, right? So you can move it from one, to click on that task so that you can move it from one list to another. So the projects that are starting today are the ones we've moved to the sprint backlog. Now, if I open the sprint backlog, you can now see that these are the tasks that we have, and these are the people that we've assigned the task, right? Okay. Now this is where it gets interesting. So I'm going to view, the next thing is for us to view. So I'm going to view this. I'm going to view the entire project as like everything will view it together so that it works. So let's go to, in this our folder, right? So we're going to click on our folder, and so if you click on your folder, you can see that you have views. So we can decide to change the way we want to view our project, right? We want to view. So you have in your views, you have your lists, you have your charts. So you have things like, oh, tasks by assignee. So everybody is given a particular task depending on the team member. You can see here. So in our folder, which is the development team, if you click on this add view, click on add view, and then you're going to see board. So let's see what it looks like in a board. So you can decide to view it as calendar. Remember when I was introducing the ClickUp, I said you can either view as list, calendar, or board. So let's click on board. So we can call it, okay. So this is how the board looks like, right? So if there's any task, let me just call it sprint backlog board. Okay, so if there's any task that has been sent to in progress, would show here, right? So, but that's not what we want to do. We want to view this as a list. I'm just trying to show us different view structure. So if I view as calendar, so you can see that if you view as a calendar, you can see that we have user sign up starting today, which is Tuesday, and it's going to follow through till Saturday. Saturday is the deadline. I don't know if you can see my calendar. Yeah, so you can view anyhow you want. So for the calendar view, the dashboard development starts on Saturday and ends on the Tuesday of the other week. The landing page team starts on Saturday, starts on Tuesday today and ends on Thursday. So as the project manager, you can view all of this. You can keep track of progress. So now the work of the, so let me go back to viewing as list, because that's what is important for us. So now the work of the project manager ends here, actually ends here. It is now time for the team to begin to work, right? So I'm sure most of us, the people that have accepted the invite are already on the workspace. So what I want us to do now is for the development in the people involved in building if you've been assigned the user sign up, the login page, and the user sign up and the login page and the landing page, please move. What I mean is drag your task to the in progress section. So this is what I want you to do. So me, I am one of the people building the user sign up. So I'm going to drag it to the in progress so that it shows that we have started this job. So it's now in progress. So it's no longer in what we are about to start, right? So that is basically what each team member would now do. So if you start a particular task, move it to the in progress, right? So in the in progress, I'm now going to click on this user sign up. As part of the development team for the user sign up, I'm going to write a comment. I'm going to say, we just started the sign up page, right? So I'm going to send in a comment. All right. So now the person that is building this user sign up page with me, okay, interesting. One of the team members have moved. Is that you, Victor Wanko? Did you move the landing page? Oh, nice job. That is good. So it means that you're following along. So the people building the login page, please, I want you to start your project. So move from the sprint backlog to the in progress.
We have done that, sir. We have done that.
All right. Then in your task, add a comment to either tell me whether you've started or not. So when I go to the landing page, if I open the landing page, I'm not seeing any comments from the landing page team yet. Okay, hold on. I've not seen any comments from the landing page team yet. The login page team, no comment yet.
Sir, please, sorry, where do we add the comments?
Yeah,
Is
so
it on...
click on that task, your individual task.
Yes.
If you click on the task, you're going to see the side, the right hand side, you're going to see a bar that looks like a message.
Okay, write comments.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So write a comment to tell me that, oh, we just started this project. What team is this? Is it the login page team?
Yes, it's login page team, Martins, and I don't
so
know.
now, as the project manager, I'm going to open the login page team task, and then I'm going to see that, oh, Martin somewhere said we're on it. So that it means that they've started the job. So my mind is that it's right. The landing page team, let's see what they have. Okay, no comment from them yet. So what it means is that each team member can communicate inside of the task, right? So if you are, let's say for example, among the people building the user sign up page now, I can communicate with my my team member, right? My team member. Sorry. I can communicate with my team member. Let me know who's there with me. Who's in this team with me? Okay. I think it's Chineye Sandra. So I can tag her and tell her, please send in your comment, right? And that is it. So we can, as team members, for any task or anything we do, we can communicate. I'm also part of the team in okay, for this team. Let me go to the user sign up. I can also say I just pushed my first commit. I just pushed my first commit. So I'm going to send it. So it means that team members can communicate here. As the project manager, for any task I open, I can see what they are doing, and then I can communicate with them. I can keep track of the progress. Now, I'm of the assumption that we've started this project now. So I want each team member let me assume that you're done with your task. I want each team member to move their task from in progress to review, so that the tester, the person that is testing the software, can test it and say, oh, no, 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 you're not part of this. I want us to do that. So each team member should move from their from in progress to review.
So how do you
Meanwhile, I'm
move
going to
without?
add.
Sir,
Meanwhile,
sorry.
yeah,
Is how do you move when you are
please can
using
you
a
be
mobile?
audible? It's noisy from my end. Just be audible, please.
Okay. Sorry, I'm asking, how do you move when you are using a mobile phone, like without using the cursor to drag it? I did I'm like, if I'm using a mobile phone, how do I move that? Is there
Okay,
someone I
mobile
can?
device.
Mm.
Yes, you can. You can move that. So I said that. 1 second. So if I do this, if I hold this, I can do. Can you see what I'm doing? Can you see my
Yes,
screen?
yes, I'm seeing
So
you.
you can see that without dragging, I can click. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can just click move to and then choose the list you want to put it in, and then you just click on that list and then it will move. So on the side, I'm going to create a new task. No, a new team. That team is going to call. Sorry, it's going to be called the what do I call it? I'm going to call it the testing team. So that team, they are going to be the ones involved in testing the software. But for now, since I'm the project manager, I'll do that myself. So the people in the login page, please move from in progress to review, please, so that I can review your work and tell you if there's something wrong with your work or not. We're just trying to simulate a real life scenario. So the people in the sign up, they move to review. Right. Okay. Now we are good. Please, the login page team, I'm not getting any activity from you. Martin, Samuel,
Any
Josiah.
we have moved to
We
the
moved
review
it already.
page.
Oh, for real? I'm not seeing it's not reflecting on my end. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's network or something, but it's okay. It's all good. So now let's assume that each of these team members, they've in their mind, they've finished their task, right? So they'll move it to review. So now it's now left for the project manager, if it's the project manager's job, or the software tester, if it's the software tester's job, to review each of these projects and tell them if there are corrections. So I'm going to quickly do that, and then we'll move forward. So in the login page, I'm going to open it, and I'm sure they must have sent in their comments to GitHub or whatever repository we are using to review our code. And then I'll come and then I'll tell them that please, your font is not giving. Adjust it. Right. So I'm going to I can decide to tag them so that and decide to tag. I'm not even sure people involved in this team. Okay, Martin, Samuel. I'll tag Martins and then I'll tag Josiah. Okay, and I'll send this. Now, if I send this message, I'm going to move them back to in progress. I'm going to move them back to in progress. So when they come, they will notice that our task has been moved back to in progress. They will open it and then they will see that there's a comment. Then maybe the software tester or the project manager has told them that please your font is not giving, adjust it. So they quickly do the adjustment. If they do the adjustment, they can either decide to write a comment, whatever it is. So the people in the login page, I want you to assume that you've done your adjustment, send in a comment, and then move it back to review. Just do that quickly so we can proceed. Are we together? Login page team, please review your work, do the necessary correction, and move back to review list.
We have done the necessary correction. I'm moving back.
All right, so move back to review list.
Okay. Where are we?
All right, so in this case, we have the assumption that everybody has done their job, right? So when you've reviewed everybody's task and you're like, oh, everything is in order, the next thing is for you to now move it back. Okay, everything is done. So we are now going to move all of this to done, to the done to the list. So we know that, oh, this job has been done. I'm going to move just move this in here. So whatever noise is, all right, let's move it to okay. Then okay, I'll move it to done. So all of our list, everything we're supposed to do, we're supposed to achieve between now and start today has been moved to done, right? We've moved all of them to done. So now we have the assumption that, remember, there is still one task that we've not started, the one of that task. If I did not skip past. Okay. So all right, so these are the tasks that we have that are done. Now the next thing is for us to visualize, for us to see, okay, this is what we've done. How can you view your result? You can view your result in so many ways. You can view it as, you can export your analysis. Maybe you want to send in your report. You can send in your report as an Excel file, CSV, or you can send in your report as a dashboard like cards, or you can send in your report as a report like document, right? Now at the moment, the version of or the version of people we're using, the account we're using, is not a business package. The package we're using here, so it does not support direct export to CSV or Excel. So we can only visualize using our dashboard or using docs, right? So let's assume that these are the tasks that we have completed, right? So the next thing is for us to create our dashboard so we can view what we've done. right? So in our sidebar here, we're going to see something called this icon here, this plus and arrow pointing down icon. We're going to click on this, and then we're going to look for something called dashboard. If I click on dashboard, we're going to create a new dashboard. We don't need to create it, so we're going to create from scratch. Right, so we create from scratch, and let's just choose something very simple. Let's start with okay, let's just create something simple, right? Okay. Let's just add this card. Okay, so we're now creating our dashboard, right? To view. So in progress, we have one task there. In our to do the things we need to do, we have two there, right? So you can see it in progress here. So one interesting thing is that so you have for the to do, you have user sign up and login page, right? So these are the status of the now we can add a card, another card. Let's add that card. Let's call it let's use a custom card. Let's use let's try all of these are okay. Let's try all of these are paid. Okay, let's go to sprints, statuses. Okay, let's do okay. So our data source, let's look for the mobile app team, and let's quickly add this card. So the loads, we can see that we have just like what we have there. To do task is 2, right? That's what we have. So this is one way for you to view your report, your dashboard, if you want to present it as a report, right? Another way is for you to export as a document. So you can go ahead and export to PDF. So if you do export to PDF, then this thing becomes a PDF for you, such that you can view them depending on the complexity of what you are doing, right? So that's it. Then another way for you to export your work, if I click on home, another way for us to export what we've done is to use the docs. So you can, there's an inbuilt word processor here, right? Now in that word processor, you can now decide, you can now type whatever it is you want. So I'm going to call it a project report, right? And then we can start writing, we can tell AI to help us generate a project report. Generate a project report, right? We can do that, and to generate it for us. Or if we already have a report that already exists, you just type it out there, and you can export, and all of your data is there, depending on how much in that report you're going to have, or the project that you started, the ones that are in progress, and the ones that you've completed, right? So there's so much you can do with this, but basically what we've achieved is that we've been able to see how one can act as a project manager, organize your team, assign roles, and collaborate with your team. So that's one interesting thing about ClickUp. So it helps you to manage your project from the comfort of your home, anywhere you are, right? So you can just create your project, tell your team members to send in their emails, you add them, assign them roles, tell them what to do. They send in comments, you review. If there's something wrong with the project, you send in your comment, you revert back, you work on it, and then so that's basically it. We can create multiple lists. It can be a more complex project, let's say an engineering project, for example, and then you're starting from design phase down to requirements gathering, through design, through fabrication, manufacturing, deployment, testing, feedback, all of those things. So it can get so complex, and then you have plenty people in your team. You begin to assign them individual roles, and everybody begins to work concurrently. So that's basically what we've been able to look at today. A basic overview of ClickUp and how we can use it to manage our project and our team. All right. So that's it. And I don't know if we followed along and we saw the demonstration. Right. So it's something you can try out. Like I said, whatever it is we do here in our session, you have to go back and try with other real life scenarios. So I'm going to be dropping a message now, and that message is going to be our assignment, right? So that message is you are going to create a scenario for, in this case, just choose any project you want. So our task now would be for us to choose any project. Choose any project, create a team, and then send in a report. So that will be that's going to be our task or our assignment. Okay. So that's it for today. That's the two we wanted to discuss about and discussed about it. So are there questions? Open to taking your questions now. And please be audible. It's noisy from my end. Okay, Sandra, go ahead, ask your question.
Thank you very much. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
Okay, please. What I want to ask is, as a team now, take for example, this team that both of us we are paired together, the sign up people that are going
Yeah.
to work on sign up.
Yeah.
So if we are creating something now, is it
Yeah.
inside this app that will be creating the thing and sharing with our project manager to be reviewing and seeing? Do you understand? For example, now we are designing something. Is it here that
Okay.
will be designing that thing and the project manager will be seeing it, and then he will now give his own review or give his own comments or correction? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I get your question. Okay, thank you for that question. Let me just briefly answer you. So ClickUp is not a tool to build your project. Like, your project can be anything. It can be coding, and in writing programs, there are tools for that. Your editor, your compiler, your interpreter. It can be an engineering project, and these projects you do them in a factory. It can be a design project. You design on a canvas or on a design tool. But this ClickUp is for you to manage that project. So what it means is, let's say it's a design project and you're designing with Figma, or you're designing with Canva, or you're designing with whatever it is you're using. By the time you're done with your task, right, you go to ClickUp. In that task, can comment, this is what you've done, right? Your project manager will now tell the tester, the person that is going to your quality assurance, or the person looking at your project, okay, review this project, see this project physically. Or the project manager might decide to go and see the project if it's a physical project, or you might have sent the design file to your project manager. He's going to review it and it'll be like, okay, there are some things there. In order for your project manager to get in touch with you and tell you what to do, he's going to come to ClickUp and revert back and send your task back to the in progress and tell you, oh, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. When you come back to the ClickUp, you're going to see that, oh, my project manager has sent somebody to review this project or has reviewed this project, and this is the report he has given. So what I'm saying in essence is that you're not building the product in ClickUp. ClickUp is just a tool that helps you manage your team and collaborate with them to manage the entire project. Thank you. Any other question? And I'm sure you understood what I said.
Yeah, perfectly. Thank you.
All right. Any other question? I can see whose hand is up. One second. Okay, Mr. Uche, ask your question.
Sir, it's about the say you get back to me after
Oh, the
like
offline stuff.
yes, sir.
I'm not really sure why it's showing offline. It's not supposed to show offline. That's even what is even confusing.
And even so that if you show offline, I'm being seen every like the tasks you are doing. I'm
Yeah.
seeing on my dashboard, but still, I don't think you can see me from there. I don't think maybe you can see me. I'm not even seeing my
So
name, so I don't know
that's
why
the
what is happening.
so it's I don't know. Perhaps that's I'm a bit surprised. I'm supposed to see you in my so if I come here now in my team members, you're supposed to be here, right?
Yes, sir.
You get yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't find the here. So I guess the only solution that's like the peculiar solution. There's a peculiar problem, and the only solution is for me to probably send you another invite. That's the only way I feel we can solve this problem, right? So it's for me
Mine
to
also
send.
is not showing on the list.
So some people like I don't get. Is there another person that has
Mine
the same
also is
issue?
not showing. Yes, sir.
Wow.
My name is not on this list.
And you accepted the invite.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Honestly, I really don't know why. I mean, ideally, it's supposed to work. You know, it's supposed to work ideally. So I really don't get why it's not showing. Like I said, the best thing I can do is if you're in that kind of situation where you're having this thing, is the best thing is to send another invite, then you accept the invite, right? So that's the thing. I'm not really sure there's an actual reason why or an actual solution. It's just to send another invite and then you join. Or another thing I'm thinking is possible that since we're using the starter plan, it can only accept maybe 4 team members, including the owner of the workspace. Probably that's the reason, right? That could be it. So, but if you're using the business pack, then I think you can accept as many teammates as possible. So that's the second possibility. All right. So I hope I've tried in answering the question. So, like I said, we can either resend an invite, or it's possible that because of the current package we're on, we can't have more than 5 team members in a particular team or in a particular space or in a particular folder, right? So, all right, thank you for that question. Mr. Uchi, I hope you get what I said.
Okay, sir. Since you said that it can only carry only maybe 4 people or 2 people or 3 people. Okay, now you are giving us assignment now. Should we because now I'm seeing like what is going on in like how will I put it? What's the mobile app team, the stuff and stuff like the thing
Yeah,
you did, the list. I don't
yeah.
know. Should I maybe during my assignment, should I create new stuff differently?
Oh,
Or I
yeah.
don't know.
So if you're doing your assignment, you're creating your own workspace, right? You're creating your
Yes.
workspace, you're creating your own space, you're creating your own team. So in this case, I have how many people in this class? Now let's assume we have 26 people in this class. I'm expecting 26 project managers. Are we together?
Okay.
Yeah. So just getting you random 3 people or random 4 people that will just join. It's going to be hard, sha, but try to do it. Random people that will join so that you can see how you can manage your team, what it means to manage a particular project. Or if possible, if you can get people within our class forum here to collaborate with you. Sure, that's not it's not an entirely bad idea. So you can do that too.
Okay, sir. No problem. Thank you.
Any other question before we call it a day? Okay. If you have a question, unmute your mic and ask your question, please.
Okay, sir. What I want to ask,
Okay.
this app and
Yeah.
Slack and Notion, are they like? It seems like it has features of Notion and has features of Slack. Is it like are they the same? Are they working hand in hand? Do you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, I get your question. Yeah. The interface looks exactly almost like Notion, right? Right. The interface looks like Notion. It has functions of Slack, only one function in the sense that you can create a channel, right? You can create a channel and then you can add team members. So ClickUp is kind of like a joint, it has all of these features. So let me just explain all of this now. These are different tools developed by different companies. All of these companies, they want to make productivity easy, right? So it depends on, as a, let's say tomorrow you want to develop your own productivity app. You're going to look at, okay, what is involved in productivity? Okay, team collaboration, um, product management or project management. So all of these things, you now begin to add these tools. And you discover that your own tool might be similar to another company's own productivity tool. Yeah, so it's possible that you have a different software or a different tool, and it has similarities or the same features as another one. So it's just different brand. But ClickUp kind of combines all of these together. That's what makes it very interesting. It kind of combines it's just a full stack project management tool, right? So that's the way I see it. Yeah. So yeah, it has all of some of these features. Not like it has all of Slack and all of Notion. You can even import Slack as an add-on to ClickUp. I think there's where we have that there. Yeah, in more, you can in apps. I think you can add Slack. I'm sure I saw it somewhere here. Yeah, so you can add Slack, right? So that's the thing. All right. Thank you for that question. Any further question? Okay, no further question. I'm sure today's class was as engaging as possible, right? So, and I'm sure we understood the concept of um team management, project management, and all of that. Like I said, I'm not teaching project management. That's it, an entirely different thing altogether. But it's just as a project manager, which I'm sure some of you are, or team leads in your different companies or your different organizations or wherever it is you find yourself, you can use this to, you know, manage your team, manage yourself, manage your project, keep track of it, and all of that. So, and it was also good to have it in today's session. And apologies that we didn't meet yesterday as scheduled, which is actually why most people are not here today. But this class is definitely being recorded. Um, Something came up yesterday. I was tied up somewhere, so I could not. I was unable to make it for the class. So, but we'll meet on Monday definitely, our usual time on Monday, and then we'll start reviewing the tools we've done before. We start looking at them, looking at more possibly complex problems, real life scenarios. The ones we didn't understand previously, we try to understand them better. And as we progress, would better master most of all these tools. And I would also use this opportunity to thank the DG of Nitda the DG of the Digital Literacy and Capacity Building, and the founder of the Bodido Media Foundation for this opportunity. It's an interesting one, and so far it's been so good. And it's also good to have you in the class, because without you, won't be having, without you, there won't be me. So your presence is very much appreciated. So like I said, a new drive link will be shared so that you can send in your assignments, right? So the previous drive link kind of has an issue, right? And good night, everybody, and have a wonderful time. Thank you. And also don't forget to send in your reactions and your review for the class. Is important for the instructors. Thank you very much.